Hello guys, how are you doing? Welcome to the field of mathematics. And today we are looking at a very interesting topic. It's called moving shapes. So what are we talking about? A shape can be moved in different ways. And in mathematics we've got about 3, 4, 5 key methods. But at this stage we are looking at only 3. This is 6th grade. So we are specifically focusing on 3 methods. And this is translation, rotation, and reflection. So let's just look at the board and see what we are talking about. So a shape can be moved by translation, reflection, or rotation. So what we are going to do is we are going to start with the translation. We are going to describe each and every graph. So I have started with translation. We want to talk about translation. After that, we move on to the next Cartesian plane with reflection, then finally rotation. So in front of me I have got a shape. Shape A has undergone what is called translation. It has gone translation. Translation involves moving horizontally and vertically. So if it moves to the right, this is positive, horizontally. If it moves to the left, this is negative, right? If the shape moves upwards, it's positive. And if it moves downwards, that's negative, okay? So a shape has to first, sorry, my spelling here, positive, okay? Positive, okay? So a shape has to first move horizontally, then vertically. So in this case, we want to find out how shape A moved up until it arrived at position B, okay? So we want to find out. So we need to plot the coordinates, okay? Initially, let us first give shape A its coordinates. This top part is, remember you have to start with the x-axis first. So in brackets, I've got 2 here. Then my y value is 5. Okay? Then I will focus on this one. This one, the x value is 3. And the y value is also 3. Okay? This other corner, the x value is 1. The y value is 3. So these are the coordinates for shape A, okay? So we want to also then give coordinates to shape B, all right? Shape B has got coordinates, this corner here, the top part now is now 7 bracket 3, like that. So the other one, another corner here, this one which was 3, 3, it's now 8, 1. Okay, the other corner, which was initially 1, 3, is now 6, 1. Okay, so I have given coordinates to both shapes. This is the same shape. What has only happened that it has just moved. It moved horizontally and vertically. So we want to come up with a formula that tells us how shape A moved. So what we do is, you can pick any corner from shape A. Allow me to pick the top part. I want to move horizontally. Then I want to see by how much it has moved horizontally. So I'll start from this point. Then, so I jump 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it is now in line with the new shape. So 5 steps to the right. And so I have to put an arrow like that. And I say 5 like that. Then from there, I can see that I have to go down. So it's now 1, 2, going downwards. So then I can put another arrow like that, 2. So guys, so this is what we call translation. In summary, an object has to move horizontally, then vertically. So, for example, like we have here, A had to move to the right 5 steps, then it had to move down 2 steps, and its new position is now here as indicated by the B letter. Okay, so movement to the right horizontally is a positive movement. Movement to the left horizontally is negative. Moving vertically upwards, it is positive, and moving downwards is negative. I hope you understood. We are now moving on to reflection. So now we are focusing on reflection. Remember, we talked about translation. Now we have to look at reflection, which is also one of the ways of movement. An object can also undergo reflection. Now, reflection, this occurs in our day-to-day lives. For example, if you look at yourself in the mirror, you see an image, right? So the distance from where you are to the mirror is also equal to the distance your image is behind the mirror. Okay, so basically we want to translate the real life situation onto a Cartesian plane. Okay, so let us say we've got shape A and its image is shape B. We need to put the coordinates for shape A. We also need to put the coordinates for shape B. We also need to identify the mirror line. Okay, so let me give shape A its coordinates. The top part, the coordinates are, you remember we have to start with the x value. It's 2, right? And 4, okay? Another point is this corner here. It has got coordinates 1 representing x, and moving to the left, 3e representing y. The third corner for A has got coordinates 3 and 3. Okay? So these are the coordinates for shape A. Now we need to write the coordinates for shape B. So the top part is no longer 2, 4, right? It's now, the value of x is now 6, 4, okay? So there is a movement there. The other corner, which was initially 1, 3, is now 5, 3, okay? The third corner, initially it was 3, 3, okay? Now it has got new coordinates, and these are 7, 3, okay? So these are the new coordinates for the image, okay? And finally, we need to basically find the mirror line. The mirror line, we need to find the mirror line, and we have to measure equal distances from the mirror, okay? So I see I've got 2 boxes from this corner here to that corner, okay? I've got 2 boxes in between, okay? So trying to find the middle part. This is the middle part here, okay? So it becomes our mirror line, okay? And this mirror line is in line with value x is equal to 4, okay? So the mirror line is x. So mirror line is equal to, so is x equal to 4, okay? So basically, this is how you describe this kind of movement is reflection along x is equal to 4. Remember, the distance from this point to the mirror should also be equal to the image, okay? So if this is 3 centimeters, this other side, the right side also after the mirror must also be 3 centimeters. So always take note of that. So basically this is what we refer to as reflection. Now we move on to the final kind of movement, which is known as rotation. Now we are focusing on the third type of movement. Okay, we spoke about translation, we spoke about reflection, we want to dwell on rotation. Now in front of me, I've got a shape A. It has undergone a certain type of movement, and it is now referred to as shape B. The image is shape B. So we need to describe the motion of this object. It cannot be translation as just by mere looking. It cannot be translation, it cannot be reflection. So there is some turning that has taken place here. So we need to describe that kind of turning. So what I can see that there is a clockwise rotation. Okay, so clockwise rotation, okay. So the shape A has undergone rotation in a clockwise direction. But now we need to know the degrees it has turned. If it turns 90 degrees clockwise, the shape becomes like this. A further turn with 90 degrees, this shape then becomes something like that. So, in summary, shape A has undergone a clockwise rotation of 180 degrees clockwise, right? So initially it was 90, then a further 90, that becomes 180, and the image is B in that position. And the center of rotation, shape A is rotated using center. Allow me to put an arrow here. This is the center, okay? So there was no movement in terms of translation, the rotation took place, okay, at 3, 3. This is the center of rotation, okay? 3 representing the value of x, and the other 3 representing the value of y. So basically, this is how rotation takes place. It can take place also in an anti-clockwise direction, okay? So I hope you have understood the topic. Next time you see any topic concerning movement geometry, it must be easy to tackle.